Monica Makes It Happen Pix 11 Plus Financial Champion Series is proudly supported by Ponce Bank.
Welcome to the Monica Makes It Happen show on Pix 11 Plus. Thank you for always watching and supporting us. We're celebrating community champions, small business success stories, and of course the partners that make it happen. And the partner that we love for the show is Ponce Bank. Thank you, Ponce Bank, for always supporting our community and also these incredible stories. They allow us to tell these stories, and they give me an assignment. I talked to some of the best change makers and community champions, and joining me, I'm so excited, I just can't hide it, is Roxanne Guerrerio, the president and owner of KCM Contracting. Thank you for joining us, Roxanne.
Thank you for having me, Monica, and thank you so much for being interested in my story and in KCM's story as well.
You are fascinating to me. I can't wait to tell your story to our audience. And I think Carlos, the CEO of Ponce Bank, also feels the same way, because your story is it's an immigrant story, it's a business story, but it's also an inspiring story because you're a certified union concrete company that's really laying the foundation for some of the biggest projects in New York City and New York State. But you're also this incredible immigrant story. Your journey began in Paraguay, where you were born. And at the age of 9, you came here to America. How did that shape you, Roxanne?
So, Monica, I think it shaped every facet of my entire life, really, because at the age of 9, I was already aware of some of the limitations that were in my surroundings. Just to give you an example, I lived in a very rural area, to about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from the capital, Asuncion. And what I knew then is that I saw that there were a lot of very intelligent people. Some of them were my family members, some of them, the entire town was related, as you can imagine. But I knew that none of them would have, or not all of them would have the opportunity to go to university, to study,
Yes.
to follow a dream of becoming some kind of a professional, and what have you. And when I got to the U.S., my parents' goal was always to make sure that I got educated, that I earned a professional degree, and not just get educated, but really that I pursued something that would bring me a profession.
Well, your father was a landscaper, right? Your father was a landscaper, and it's that work ethic. You saw that work ethic. My mom cleaned homes, and that work ethic. I can complain about my job all day long, in my mind, but I will never work as hard as she did. She would clean floors, she would clean people's homes, she would clean hair. And so it keeps things in perspective, does it not?
Yes, absolutely. Growing up, I remember seeing my father get up at 6 a.m. and get all of his truck, his truck ready, his mowing machines ready, and then I wouldn't see him until 8:30, 9 o'clock, because that's how long his work day went. So for me, I really never saw anything else. That's how I was brought up, and that's just how our life was. So working hard and working a 9 to 5 job, for example, I've never even seen it. So what I will tell you is that, yes, being from an immigrant family really shaped just, my idea of it. Just to go back to the education part, the fact that somebody who came from a very humble home would go to a university was already a tremendous difference compared to what I had come from, number one. And number two, not even knowing what a 9 to 5, job would look like, also obviously shaped, my future, because I wasn't scared to be the hardest working person in the room. At that time, when I graduated as an accountant, accountants didn't work from 9 to 5. And to me, that was normal.
People are going to be amazed by this, okay? corporate tax. You higher echelons of corporate tax, which is another
Yeah.
parallel between our stories, because my dad was one of the most published authors in corporate tax, and that's where my business background comes in. I grew up with a corporate tax expert and textbook writer. So if you can imagine that, how smart he was, how smart you are, and you did this transition from corporate tax to construction. How did that happen? And you say it was a very humbling experience.
Yes, absolutely. So by the time I left my CPA career, I actually left at a time where I had my dream job. I was running a private equity group for a boutique firm in New York City. I loved my clients, I loved my team, and the opportunity was in front of me. I had reached, I think, the highest level of corporate tax that I could. I was, the director of the entire group.
Wow.
And I knew that if I wanted a more flexible schedule or a better family life, that path wasn't going to bring it. So when the opportunity came for me to go into construction, I didn't leave a job I hated. I left at the height of my career,
And
and
that's
I
actually
left
harder to do, because people want to leave their job because they
tremendously.
hate it, but you loved your
Yes,
job. So
I
that's
actually
so
loved my job.
courageous. Yeah.
I loved my job. I loved the company that I was working with. I loved my clients, were super interesting. And that actually gave me, believe it or not, Monica, this full sense of security because my client base was so diverse. I thought that I can go into any business
Yeah.
and sort of plug in and be successful. And what I can tell you is construction is a very humbling path, because very early in my transition I learned that there was a lot I didn't know, and I had to really do my part to now learn an entirely new way of thinking. Just having the responsibility of making sure that there was money on a weekly basis to cover payroll, to buy material, all the planning and now I had to go out and sell myself, basically, and sell to general contractors the idea that they should trust a woman to go pour concrete. I can't imagine.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And then Ponce Bank, you met Ponce Bank, and you talk
Yes.
about the 3 pillars, and they're one of the most important pillars of business. Can you share
Yeah.
that with us? How did Ponce
Yes.
Bank come in just at the right time and as one of your pillars of success? Because I want to learn about this.
Yes. So I'm going to share that from the beginning. In my humble opinion, there are 3 extremely paramount pillars that a business should have.
I'm writing
One
these down.
is their labor force. For me, that's the union world.
The best
2,
workers. Yeah.
yeah, skilled workers, and just an open gate to accessing those workers. So for me, that's what my business is about. My business is about trusting that I can go to a union and have a good laborer available to me when I need them. The second pillar is just having your house in order, making sure that the infrastructure in your own company is sound. And the third is the partnership that I was lucky enough to be able to form with Ponce Bank. And let me just explain to you how paramount that is to a union construction company. Now, I only work on public projects. I don't have private, non-union world construction projects. In that arena, a subcontractor has to pay for payroll, has to pay for material, and has to pay for union benefits pretty much on a weekly basis. However, the payments from the agencies that I work with, which are New York City, New York State, and sometimes even the federal government, they don't come back. They don't get processed for at least 45 to 60 days post submitting a request to get paid, right? The real on the ground time period there is 60 to 120 days. So a subcontractor
A lot of people can relate to this because they
Yes.
have these periods of time where capital, where's the capital, where's the money? And that's where Ponce Bank believed in you and made it happen, right?
And that is where Ponce Bank came in as a plug, right? They provided the capital for me to be able to get to 120 days and wait for that invoice to be paid to me. And think about it this way: if I didn't have them, there is no business, because I wouldn't be able to go out and get those jobs. And that's why I call it that third pillar. I don't think that my business could survive without with two or one. All three have to be present.
I think
so.
this
That's
is
how
so
important.
Yeah, this is
That's how important it is.
And after the break, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I can't wait. You are the most practical business owner I've ever met, because you're so good at making it clear what exactly do we need for success. And of course, Ponce Bank is part of that, but that's after the commercial break when we come back. Welcome back to the Monica Makes It Happen show on Pix 11 Plus, and I am with Roxanne again, an entrepreneur, but really you're going to be teaching us what you have learned from. You said you're humbly a lot of mistakes. We all make a lot of mistakes, and we learn so much. And hopefully, we don't have to do them. We can learn from you and the partnership with Ponce Bank. Be humble. What do you mean by that? I thought we were humble enough, but we're not, right? Sometimes we're not. It's hard to ask for help.
Yes. So be humble, as it translates to my, to what we're talking about here, Monica, is, the banks know that you're going to need capital. There's got to be a reason why you're going to them. And what I said is, make sure you're humble enough to know that you have to prepare for that. You can't go knocking at Ponce's door to say, hey, I'm worthy of your time and I'm worthy of your trust, if you don't prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself and your business so that you can present a sound picture of why they should trust you. And that
you're a success because you were humble, you were clear, you were honest. These are all incredible tips. But I want to talk about the partnership. You said it was life-changing to be in partnership with Ponce. Why do you say that?
Oh, Monica, because without their trust and without their belief in me and my business, I would have never been able to go to a general contractor who's hiring me to pour concrete at the levels of work that I've been able to get contracts for, without the capital that Ponce has made available to me. Think about it this way, Monica. In order to do the projects that I am working on, there's a significant amount of capital that needs to be available to get to that 120 days, right?
Can we say one of the projects? I think it's very impressive. The Second Avenue. You are
Second Avenue subway,
So the concrete, you are literally creating our city, one of the biggest projects in our city. I mean, that must be a pinch me moment. Is it? Are you still?
It was.
Yeah.
It was very, again, and it was, gosh, again, construction is very humbling. So I was very, very appreciative of having that trust from the general contractor and from Ponce to be able to do that work, because don't forget, I made it through COVID. During COVID, I had I had an awakening moment where, I didn't know if my business was going to survive. There was no projects out there. There was no work to go around. And going from that to now working on the biggest project that we have in our region, it was absolutely,
that gives us so much faith and hope if we're watching, that can happen. So your life
Yes,
can
that could
change like
happen.
that when you have the right
Yeah,
partners, when you have the right mindset. But you work
yeah,
so hard, Roxanne, because I
yeah,
think a lot of times, we want the secret sauce, we want the secrets, and you're giving such great, know your skill set, be humble, be honest, but it's the work. You put in all of that work, and I think that's underneath it all. And sometimes people don't want to hear that, but it is a lot of work, and that trust. You've
yeah,
built that trust over doing all of
yeah.
that hard work over time. When we come back, one more commercial break. When we come back, we're going to do a speed round. I want to talk a little bit about the community impact that you have and that Ponce has. That's after the break. We're back. I can't believe this is a speed round. I could talk to you all day. And that's what's so great about this is it's a relationship. We're going to be doing a series of stories. Hopefully, Roxanne, talking about this incredible group that you're part of, the Women Builders
Yes.
Council. I want to do a story
Yeah.
on that. But tell me about the community impact in the speed round. People are chasing their dreams in the community, watching this podcast, watching your story, and thinking, oh, I want to do that. It does seem like a lot of work, but I want to do that. What would you say is the biggest piece of advice you could give someone watching?
I would say be prepared. Know your business. Know what you're selling, whether it's pouring concrete or whatever it is that your product is. Make sure that you have the highest quality that you can offer to either your customers or whoever you're selling to above. That I think is paramount. If you don't have that locked in, it is impossible to do the rest. The second part of it is make sure that your house is in order in every way, from having the right tools so that you can keep, and I understand this is, this is sometimes is hard for a lot of people. Make sure that your accounting is right, because
Well,
if you're going to grow.
that's so good because a lot of
Yeah,
us think that there's a magic, Ponce
yeah,
Bank is magic. Okay. They are magic, but
yeah,
it's also informing yourself. And that's what I love about Ponce Bank is that they have people that want you to be empowered with knowledge. They're giving you the
yeah,
knowledge. They're not saying we know everything and we're going to do everything. They're sharing their knowledge with the
yeah,
community. And that's what's so
yeah,
powerful. And I love that. And your personal mantra, we have a few minutes left. You say it's pay it forward. Isn't that
yeah,
something? Why is that? Because
yeah,
it's contrary to what some people would think in business, like keep it all
yeah.
to myself, be competitive. It's a doggy dog world. You're saying no, be generous, pay it forward. Why?
Pay it forward because that forces you to show up, Monica. It forces you to be in the mix, to believe it or not, when you pay it forward, you're the biggest benefactor. That's what I found anyway for me.
Yeah.
Whenever I did something good for someone, it has come back and it tenfold. So pay it forward is really, I would say, almost, if there was a secret source, that probably would be it. And I believe in it so much. It just from being a woman in construction, being a part of the Women Builders Council, for example, we all try to help women that are in construction because we know how hard it is, and we know that we all come with a stigma. But that has helped me so much. It's helped me grow so much as a person, as a as a leader. And I will tell you that what I've put in, it's nothing compared to what I've gotten back in return. So I think that would be, that would be my secret sauce, if you would.
Roxanne, I don't think we can hear that enough. And I hear that is a common thread among all the CEOs that we talk to on this podcast is the giving back, paying it forward, you get more. Giving is when you receive. It's a full circle moment. And if we want to reach you and we want to reach Ponce, it's poncebank.com. And I think everyone is going to love your story and we want to hear more from you. So this is not a goodbye. This is going to be a relationship that we have with you, Roxanne, here at Pix 11. How do we reach you if we want to reach you?
I'm easy to find, and I welcome people. I would never close the door on anybody that sends me an email and says, "Hey, Roxanne, what do you think about this?" Or, what was your experience with that? Guerrerio at KCMContractingInc.com. That's as simple as it is.
Wow, it's incredible. Roxanne, thank you for sharing. And, I always like to end with hope. One little piece of hope, if you can leave us with some hope.
Sure. I would say if you prepare, and even though the road might be hard ahead, prepare again and try again. So if it doesn't, I do understand that I may have a little bit of a benefit by knowing accounting and having been in financial services. But say that you prepare to go in and get a loan with Ponce, and you have to fix things or you have to tweak your process. Do it. It's worth it. Don't give up. Don't take, no today doesn't mean no forever. So I would say, and I certainly have heard no a lot, just to be clear.
Me too.
There was a lot of no's. Yeah, there was a lot of no's. We forgot to talk about that, Monica. There was a lot of no's there in between.
Part of it.
Absolutely.
Well, I always was told rejection is God's protection. And I think you're right. We don't talk enough about rejection. Maybe we should do a whole show on rejection, because it is true. I think everyone says no. That's the automatic. And then you just have to hear it's a silent yes, or there's another pathway for you.
Find another way to get to yes. That's what it is. Be a little creative, and and don't go home and soak on it. Go home and plan out, how do I get to yes? Because look, you've already done it once, so you already know where you could have done better.
Yeah.
You don't know that the first time around, right? So it's that much easier the second time around if you get no the first time.
I love it. You're so inspiring, Roxanne. Thank you for chatting with us, and watch Pix 11 News for some stories on you to come.
Thank you. God.
Yes, partnering with Ponce Bank. Remember, dream big, and let's keep making it happen together. See you all next time.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.